Hi, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Hey Avery, you're a nerd, so you probably already know this, but how many active users were on Facebook last month?
I'm going to pretend like I'm not offended by you calling me a nerd, but how many?
Well, according to Facebook, there were 2.23 billion, and that's billion with a B, users on the social media platform last month. And nearly 1.5 billion of those people are using the platform daily.
That is very interesting and a huge number. It's only natural that farmers and ranchers are among the billions of users, including nerds. This week, TWILA's Carl Wiggers shows us how a few farmers have taken to Facebook to create connections that reach far beyond their farms.
Back in 2010, Abel Gideon and I were members of the LSU Ag Leadership class 12. We had to come up with a project to do something to advance agriculture in Louisiana or something in your community.
I'd been involved with a lot of, back then they wasn't considered social media. They were online forums and discussion groups and networks of farmers all across the U.S.
Gideon says that most of the discussions related to southern farming issues on these pages would quickly be covered up by the issues from other parts of the country. Gideon and Dill saw this as a problem, but like any good farmers, they found a creative solution.
And then one day Noble said, I'm going to put this on Facebook. I was like, I use Facebook every day, but you really think all these farmers will? And he said, let's just give it a try.
It didn't take long to become clear that Kyle isn't the only one that uses Facebook every day.
Southern farming has made it where you have a problem, you post it on there, within a minute, you probably get 2 or 3 responses like, hey, yeah, that happened to me last week. This is all you got to do. And to me, that's been the biggest tool just to help people with the small things every day.
It has allowed more pressing topics for our part of the world to be discussed and to be used by farmers. Hopefully they see it as a tool.
What it has done is we have brought the coffee shop to every single farmer. Instead of just the 5 guys that farm down the road from you, you have 28,000 people that you can ask questions to, you can make fun of, you can just tell your story. And I think we didn't see that happening. I mean, I don't think we ever imagined people would get on there and 5 times a day post videos what they're doing on their farm.
It takes a lot of effort to make that forum or that lunchroom or coffee shop feel comfortable to them by keeping out all of the riffraff. I do enjoy other people in the industry using the site as a reference for educating the public, because that's what we've got to do as an industry is show the American public that we are good stewards of the land, we take care of our livestock and our crops, and we also produce the safest and most affordable food supply in the world.
If you think you expect what farmers deal with in Georgia or North Carolina or up in Missouri, but everybody has their own story to tell, and it's a good place for them to tell it.
The group has almost 30,000 members, and a group that size cannot be managed by only 2 people. Along with Kyle and Noble, the page has 5 other administrators spread across the South from Texas, Mississippi, and Georgia that all help to make Southern farming what it is today. And you guys were all 3 members. And I've actually been a member for a couple years. I was really interested to learn, though, that it started right here in Louisiana in the ag leadership classes that I'm now a part of and you were once part of, and Kyle and Noble both came from.
What I think is great is it really allows these farmers to sort of play off of one another and see what they each do and how they do things and find the solutions to problems that, no one has the problem for the first time for the most part.
It's really neat, and Kyle tells that story in my package that, he just reached out to his buddy that was trying to find this one thing. It was really kind of an older part, and within a few hours, there was the phone number for the one guy that he needed to talk to right there on the page. It's a great resource.
And they've got farmers that are not just in the South that, some people consider Missouri the South, but I don't really. But they've got farmers from everywhere on there, I've seen.
Yeah, they have, I think, probably 30 or 35 states in the United States represented, and then also they branch out. I don't even know how many countries, but quite a few countries, Israel, Australia. You see some pretty active members from across the pond.
Yes. It's proof that the internet is not just a bunch of cat videos all over the place, that it can be used for something useful. And I love what they post, especially the funny stuff, guys. Great stuff, great stuff. Thank you very much, Carl Wiggers. If you're driving down the road near Melville, you're bound to see a lot of soybean fields. You might also get a glimpse of some classic cars on the road near the Atchafalaya River.
As TWILA's Neil Melanson tells us, one farmer in that area is pursuing both his fields and his passion with the same drive.
The soybean field near Melville is about done for this year.
The bean crop looks really good.
Another 2 or 3 weeks and Ralph Artell will be bringing in his Group 4 beans, which he says looks good this year.
Beans were off to a little rough start early, but it's been pretty good since then. We've had some rains, but not excessive rains.
He's been farming here for 41 years and still has a passion for it. However, he also looks forward to finishing harvest every year.
Of course, I enjoy the time off in the wintertime. That's a big factor for me. I enjoy my hobby.
That hobby starts where his cornfield ends. This is no ordinary farm shed. It's a collection of his antique cars from the 1930s on, a passion Artell pursues that has a connection to his farm life.
3 1938 Buicks, and I have a 1939 Buick. Along with that mix, I have a 1955 Mercury that I discovered locally. Every car hobbyist dreams about a barn find, and that was my barn find that I lucked upon. This car has not been on the road since 1970, and I have documented history of the mileage. The inside looks much better than the outside does. It looks like it's almost never been sat in. It's a very unique car. Can't wait to get the paint work done on this one so I can put it on the road.
Artell's also branching out into Chevys. Here in his work shed, he's got most of the work done on this 39 Chevrolet Coupe. He's done most of the work on both the body and chassis, and he even has his own device to help finish the job.
I built this rotisserie so that I could rotate the car and make it a lot easier to work on. All the bottom side is already finished. All of the interior is actually already finished. Oh yeah.
Speaking of interiors, Artell does his own. This fine wood grain pattern is his own work. He does try to include the original parts where he can. Sometimes it can't be avoided. This bumper detail, for instance, is a reproduction, faithful though to the original. Artell might not be working on his cars this time of year, but he does love to drive them. While he belongs to some driving associations, it's the simple pleasure of taking these antiques out on the road, past the fields where he calls home, and enjoying the fruits of his labor.
I grew up in the 50s, and I like those cars also, but I'm really hooked on the late 30s cars mostly because of the styling, and the engineering features were changing so dramatically in those years. We were making improvements and leaps and bounds in the 30s in cars and everything, I guess. And I really love the styling of the late 30s cars, especially the Buicks.
Right now, Artell doesn't have a lot of time to work on his cars or drive them. His bean harvest is in full swing, but you can occasionally catch him riding those cars around river roads, those Buicks that he loves so much. I'd like to give a special thanks to his neighbor and friend, Carlos Polizzola, who told me about Ralph's collection, which in a way was my very own barn find. And guys, how often do you get a chance to ride around in one of those cars? It was a lot of firsts for me, you know, riding in those 30s Buicks. I flew the drone for the first time. In fact, Ralph's comment was, "You shouldn't be getting paid for all of this." And I couldn't agree more. It was a lot of fun, but it's very easy to see how he combines those passions. You know, all farmers, I think, are engineers in some form or fashion. They've got to be mechanics at the very least, and so when you partner that with that, it naturally dovetails, and you can see how he just, you know, loves to tinker around there.
Yeah, Kristen, you wouldn't happen to know
I was
any
about to say,
farmer
sounds like
who...
somebody else I know.
Well, as you can see, I mean, he's super into it with that rotisserie that he rotates the car on and paints and all of that kind of stuff. And he said if he had twice the space, it would be all filled with cars. So it's not just Buicks, he just loves everything.
We'll have to get him and Butch Oaks an introduction.
Mm-hmm. Which was your favorite?
My favorite, God, it was a toss-up between the one that I rode in naturally and that Mercury, because the Mercury was, I mean, in the inside was absolutely pristine. And I mean, it was from the 50s, so it wasn't quite that far back, but he hadn't touched it. The leather was original, the dash was original, and all of that kind of stuff. And you can see it on camera, but you can't see it really until you get close up on it. But he does all of that woodwork on the dash by himself, and it's gorgeous. It's lustrous, and it's just beautiful work.
Good job. Thank you very much, Neil Melanson.
While agriculture is required for us to live the lives that we do, it's not a required course in school.
That's why the Louisiana Farm Bureau Agriculture in the Classroom program works to connect teachers with lessons and activities involving agriculture they can use in their classrooms. To that end, the Ag in the Classroom Committee will host a series of workshops across the state to give teachers the resources and materials to work agriculture into lessons in English, math, science, even social studies. The workshops begin Monday, September 10th in Manny and wrap up Thursday, October 18th in Gonzales. Louisiana Farm Bureau Ag in the Classroom Coordinator Linda Danoff says teachers will get everything they need to work agriculture into their lessons at these workshops.
We are having a resource roundup where we are going to educate you about how agriculture can help you teach your standards and where are all the places you can go to find the information to help you do that.
The workshops are free, but you must register to attend. You'll find a link to do so on our website at twilatv.org. Urban gardens are nothing new, but there's a community garden in downtown Monroe that's doing more than just providing fresh vegetables and herbs.
As TWILA's Tammy Arender explains, it's opening up a whole new world of learning for children in that area.
We're just working on the gardens, getting everything ready for them to start growing.
Hunter Clancy doesn't come from an agricultural background.
Huge tomato plant. It's getting big. It's about this tall.
This 11-year-old comes to the community garden on Super Saturdays at the Children's Coalition of Northeast Louisiana.
Well, this here is actually the bed I planted whenever the first event happened a month back. I just wanted to see how it was doing.
The 25 raised bed family garden and outdoor learning center is here to promote healthy eating, positive family interactions, and garden-based learning and play. Lynn Clark is the director of the Children's Coalition.
I want to be part of a larger system that's just going to get people out of doors. So one of the things we're doing is working very closely with LSU, Ag, and the food bank, and with the master gardeners to provide educational opportunities.
This is one of the patty pans. No, down here.
With help from the LSU Ag Center, the Monroe Garden Study League, and the other local organizations, Super Saturdays let families soak up knowledge. Today's focus, the importance of pollinators, presented by Friends of the Black Bayou National Wildlife Refuge.
There's 100,000 species that we consider pollinators. They're everything from insects to big higher mammals and even the bats. So they are critical to our food production. There's hardly any part of the food chain that's not affected.
And different people adopt them and they plant whatever they want.
There's also classroom instruction, helping parents and caregivers with the Early Head Start program learn about the advantages of getting kids outdoors and letting them get their hands and feet dirty.
This benefit is them knowing that that nature has a lot of benefits and that they could grow food and it could be a sustainable food source for themselves or for their whole entire neighborhood.
A visit to the community garden provides a hands-on experience. It touches all of the senses. For Damon Naylor, it's also about teaching his children where food comes from.
But here, once you're exposed to it, you understand it's important. You understand that it's good for health, just for longevity, and just great for you.
While kids are searching for something to do on a Saturday, this community garden becomes a hotbed of activity. And it's not just mindless entertainment, but a chance to reap a tasty reward. For Hunter, he knows the payoff is coming.
Let's just put it like this. I like gumbo, I like okra. Let's put it like that.
You know, I'm with Hunter. I absolutely adore some fresh okra. Isn't it delicious? That's the beautiful thing about this garden, is the folks who need it the most in Northeast Louisiana will get to reap the benefits and learn something at the same time. In Monroe, I'm Tammy Arender for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
The Super Saturday event happens every third Saturday of the month at the Children's Coalition in downtown Monroe. To learn more about the Children's Coalition, head on over to our website at twilatv.org. Well, still to come on TWILA, we show you someone getting a boost to give you a boost.
But first, we crack a few eggs and tails to make one heck of an omelet. Feasting on Agriculture is next.
Feasting on Agriculture with A.J. Sabine is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Hey there there, folks. I'm AJ Sabine, and welcome to another delicious edition of Feasting on Agriculture. This month, we are in Welsh, Louisiana at Cajun Tales, where the crawfish omelet has a story all its own. Joining us now is Cajun Tales owner Carla Johnson. And Carla, thank you for having us here at your wonderful restaurant.
Thank you for having us.
Why is it so important to be connected to agriculture here in Welsh?
Well, Welsh is a farming community.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
a bedroom community, but it's a farming community. And I mean, our farmers support us. We support our farmers. That's part of our life. It's lifestyle.
Now, your uncle is my good friend, Mr. Jimmy Hoppy, who was
Yes.
very, very influential and a legend, if you will, in Louisiana rice. Why is agriculture so important to your business, Ms. Carla?
Well, like I said, when the farmer's happy, we're happy. It's a direct correlation. Our farmers are the biggest part of our community, and we're happy to be here with the farmers, with the Welsh community, serving our community. It's what we went into business to do, to serve the community.
That's great. And you know what? I've already had some of your wonderful, I had breakfast here this morning, and I had to get a sample of what we're going to actually cook today. So tell us, what are we going to prepare?
Today our plate lunch special has brisket, which we're kind of famous for cooking brisket, rice dressing. I think she's got some baked beans and some potato salad, I believe, to go with that.
Oh, yummy. Well, Carla, you may be hungry. Folks, let's get in the kitchen and cook it up. All right, Cajun Tales, Miss Mary, what's cooking today? What are we doing today?
We're doing a crawfish omelet.
A crawfish omelet? You sound like you're not sure we're going to have a crawfish omelet. Is it good or what?
Yes.
All right, so how do we get started? What's the first thing we have to do?
Well, first you gotta prepare your eggs.
Are these the eggs?
Yes.
Okay. So how many eggs you got going here?
I have 3.
3 whole eggs.
It's the flick of the wrist.
See, I wish I could do that. I can't even do that. There would be egg all over the place if I had to do that. Now, how do you make it so velvety smooth? Now, folks don't know that I've already had one, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And I thought it was like out of a magic show. You made it so perfect. How do you do that?
Well, it's a secret.
It's a secret. Oh, Miss V, I thought we had no secrets. What you talking about?
Experience.
Experience. Now, how long have you been here at Cajun Tales?
Going on 30 years.
30 years. So I got to practice and making omelets for 30 years?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can hang with that. So what else goes into here once you got this coming up?
And then you have your crawfish etouffee.
Okay. Now you make this yourself?
No, sir. Bessie makes this. Bessie drink.
Okay. All right. Cool. It looks creamy and delicious. And I know those crawfish came right here from Welsh.
Louisiana.
That's right. Thank you, Miss V. So how much crawfish etouffee do you put in there?
Well, we usually do between 2 to 3 ounces.
Man, look at that. That looks delicious. And so how long do you let it cook for?
Until you think it's cooked.
Now, you got to have 30 years of experience to know when it's actually cooked.
Yes.
Now, do you do some fancy flipping?
Yes, I do.
All right, we're going to watch you do some fancy flipping. What you like about working here at Cajun Tales?
It's easy work. It's really not hard. After working for so many years, it comes naturally. Then you flip.
That is some fancy flipping.
Uh-oh. Good.
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to break it.
That's okay. Sometimes a crawfish etouffee just trying to jump out. That's all.
But have no fear.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Go ahead on, Miss V. See, there's when that 30 years of experience comes in. Now see, you were smart enough to know to put the brake side down so people can't see it.
That's right.
That's what's up. You go, girl. You go, girl. That's what's up, Miss V. That's what's up. All right, folks, when we get back, I'm going to cut into that beautiful, beautiful crawfish etouffee omelet we just saw right here at Cajun Tales. Stick around. We'll be right back. folks, we're back. Thank you so much for sticking around. And as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful crawfish omelet and along with a giant cat head biscuit made right here at Cajun Tales. So, Miss Carla, tell folks everything that went into this lovely omelet.
Well, besides the 3 eggs, of course, we have inside our crawfish etouffee, which Bessie Drake makes, and the crawfish is sourced locally, local farmer, my brother-in-law, Tony Cormier.
Awesome.
And the cat head biscuit is made daily.
Well, look, Carla, I got a question for you. Do you know what time it is?
What time it is?
Do you know
it
what
is time to eat that omelet.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the segment. Time for me to get my fork into this lovely omelet. So while I'm eating this omelet, Carla, tell folks where they can find Cajun Tales.
Oh, we're located right off of I-10 between Lake Charles and Lafayette, about halfway. A little closer to Lake Charles, but we're at exit 54.
Miss did a good job.
Great.
Miss V did a good job on that omelet.
She always does a good job on her omelets.
The crawfish are so sweet, and the etouffee is light and delicate. Really, really wonderful. And folks, if you want more information about Cajun Tales or rice or crawfish, you can always log on to our website at twilatv.org. Also, do you guys have a website?
We do. CajunTalesSeafood.com.
Awesome. And in case you were wondering, if you are Rotarian and you come to Welsh, they meet right here at Cajun Tales.
On Thursdays at noon, you can do your makeup meeting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carla, for having us. That's all from here, folks. On behalf of Carla, Stewart, Feasting on Agriculture, we'll see you next time.
Feasting on Agriculture with A.J. Sabine was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, Ask Before You Eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
We have a feel-good story from the farm that is certain to boost your mood today.
A touching moment of a 91-year-old North Dakota farmer getting a boost into his son's combine is tugging on heartstrings across social media. Tony Bernhardt is the star of the video, a Korean War veteran and a farmer who says his family and the farm always come first. Bernhardt's grandson originally shot the video and sent it to 4 people, but after the clip was posted on Facebook, the video has gone viral with more than 8 million views.
Remember when old ones died, new were born, life was changed. Disassembled, rearranged, we came together, fell apart, and broke each other's hearts. Remember when?
People and goes all the way to 8 million views. It goes to show, we were talking about this earlier, just if the right person shares something, it can
It's
blow
true,
up.
and I mean, it was tugging on heartstrings. I thought Jennifer Compton posted it. That was the first time I saw it, and I thought it was in a rice field in South Louisiana, and then I looked, did a little research, and it was North Dakota.
Wow.
So it spread pretty far.
A little different terrain.
Yes. Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. Next week, we will be in reruns for the Labor Day holiday. However, when we come back, I'll have a brand new Blooming on the Bayou for you.
Until then, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org, the redesigned twilatv.org, so go and check it out. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
For all of us here at TWILA, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.